there were some hefty NBA fines handed out to some of the young boys in the league. LaMelo Ball got hit with a $100,000 fine. And Anthony Edwards got hit with a $35,000 fine for inappropriate gestures to the crowd. I've been in both their guys' shoes when it comes to fines. Obviously LaMelo, he to me is one of the most off the hook, funny post-game interview guys in the game. Might have added pause. I think that's the word that the kids use. He chose to use another word, and the NBA had to handcuff that. And then Ant, crowds are crazy. And we've talked about that actually on this show where, he didn't take well to what someone said and he reacted to it. But this new wave of young players that kind of say what they want to say and do what they want to do. And I'm not even mad at it. Everything in interviews are supposed to be politically correct and you're supposed to say the right things and not say the wrong things, or even in the games, do the right things. Now, I don't think this new generation cares too much about that. These young guys are kind of out here, saying what comes to their mind. And I'm not mad because I was similar. Obviously didn't have the talent these guys have, but always said what came to my mind. And that's why I respect these guys and kind of the way they're moving in this media space. The media has been changing overall for a while, and the players are starting to change in their approach to doing these interviews and the way they carry themselves. As I said earlier, I am no stranger to fines. I think last tally, I was close to $600,000 in fines during my playing career. And we're going to get into a few of those fines right now. Take you guys down a walk down memory lane. But before we dive into it, my team has a few questions for me since I've been fined so much. So shoot away, fellas and ladies, excuse me.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
What's your name, sir? What? Can you please state your name?
This is Dylan. When you get fined or suspended, how do you find out? Is it the agent who tells you? Do you get a call to the principal's office? You get an email from the commissioner? What's that first step when you actually find out that you indeed did get fined?
All of the above, except you don't get an email from the commissioner. NBA security somehow gets through to you. Normally they go through the team to get through to me. I had a ton of calls with Kiki Vandeweghe, and I love that guy to death. He's a former Bruin, but Kiki used to find the fuck out of me. Find the fuck out of me. And the tough part is you don't even have a chance to no, I'm not paying it. That shit comes out of your check. So if I'm hit with 25, we get paid on the 1st and 15th. So wherever that lands, I won't even see that money. It'll come directly out of my check. But what's crazy is the NBA security calls and they want to hear the story. So you give them the story already knowing that they've made up their mind. They're full of shit. They really don't want to hear. They just want to kind of check the boxes and say that they talked to the people involved. So there were several fines I think that I got that were reputation fines, not actually shit that I've crossed the line. But don't get me wrong, I have crossed the line a few times.
Hello, Matt. How does the pay get deducted?
Oh, excuse me. What's your name?
It doesn't matter. How does the pay get deducted?
Yeah, no, like I said, the pay comes right out. So as soon as we're hit with that fine, it's not like the team takes it out. I think in my circumstances, I think the NBA takes the money out, or it could be the team right away. I don't know who took the money. I just know I didn't have it. And I also didn't know where it went. Some people say that that it goes to charity. I want to know what charity it went to. I also want to know, why can't I deduct that for taxes? Because like I said, I lost over $500,000 in fines and still had to pay those nasty taxes. So I think that fine money should have either, one, I should have got to pick the charity it went to since it was my money they were taking from me. And two, it should have been tax deductible.
All right, Matt, I got one for you. When you go to the principal's office, I want to talk suspension. When you go and speak to either the GM, the owner, the commissioner, what's that situation like for you? And how do you know about the suspension and how long it is?
Well, it's not really the team. You don't talk to your team, because I think if it was up to the team, they probably wouldn't suspend their guys at all. Hopefully, but it really it is up to. I know the only people I've ever talked to is NBA security. So again, they kind of have their few questions they want to ask about the situation. I think already knowing what the consequences are going to be and how much they're going to fine. So I think they're just kind of going through the motions when they actually talk to the players. But I definitely think there should be more transparency. $100,000 fine is pretty hefty, no matter how much money you make. So it just kind of is what it is. But I definitely think we should know exactly where the money is going that they are taking from us.
Last one. Did you ever appeal / successfully appeal a fine?
I appealed a lot of them, and I was successful on none of them. Not a single one was I successful. So like I said, my team is so nice. They have some questions for me, and they also pulled some edits of some of the fines I received during my time in the league. So we'll start with this first one.
Matt Barnes of the Los Angeles Clippers has been suspended 1 game without pay for striking Greg Steensma of the Minnesota Timberwolves in the neck. Suspended 1 game without pay.
Let's see. Let's take it out.
A radio job over here.
So this, okay, now I do remember this. So this happened. He hit me with a messed up screen earlier in the game, and I was just tired of it. You know what I mean? I had to chase JJ Barea's little ass around, so I'm already guarding a point guard. And this dude, he clipped me with his knee and gave me like a Charlie horse earlier in the game. So this is just kind of having enough of his screens. And if he wanted smoke, I was ready for it.
A water bottle incident in Washington. There's no video evidence of
I
this.
remember
What do
this
you remember
one.
about that moment with the water bottle?
First of all, I think I played really well that game. I want to say I had like 26, 24, 26 points. We were in DC, and there was a guy that was talking shit the entire game, and the Wizard beat us that night. And it actually wasn't a water bottle. It was a Gatorade cup that had a little bit of water in it. And when I tell you I kicked this shit so perfect that it hit the dude in the chest and splashed him in the face of the water, that fine was definitely worth it. That was probably one of the only fines I'll say, like, I'm okay with losing that $25K, because this dude was talking shit and we lost. And it just was a great, I mean, the bench was busting up, the people around him were busting up, and it really shut him up. So, you know, I'm sure he'd rather be in a Gatorade cup of water than me actually putting my hands on him. So I think he won the night.
January 27th, 2015, Los Angeles Clippers forward Matt Barnes has been fined $25,000 for directing inappropriate language toward a fan.
See, this is BS right here. And the NBA knows this, and the fact that they still wrote that, they're full of shit. So this actually was with Robert Sarver, the former racist, sexist clown that used to own the Phoenix Suns. So I was actually in a back and forth with a dad and his son, but like a fun-loving back and forth, like kind of joking around, because I'd played in Phoenix before. And this little, maybe 13, 14-year-old kid, we were not really trash talking. We were just kind of talking back and forth. And one of my teammates, or I don't remember who was on the free throw line, but the kid and I were kind of talking and his dad, and we were all laughing back and forth. And we got to the free throw line, and Sarver said, don't talk. Sarver was maybe 8 rows away from them. Sarver was on the baseline. The kid and his dad were on the sideline, everyone front row. And someone said, don't talk to my fucking fans like that. And I turned around and it was Sarver. I already don't like this guy, so I really wanted to go over there and wring his neck. So I probably said a few derogatory marks towards him, but it wasn't toward the actual fans at all. It was towards him. And to me, my complaint was, when I got the call from NBA security, if I'm held to a certain standard, why can an owner cuss at me and not be fined? But again, I knew that was a battle I wasn't going to win. But fuck you, Robert Sarver. Did I? Come on now, Barnes later tweeted. Another 25,000. That part of the story that the NBA hasn't told you was my language wasn't directed at a fan. I was talking to the owner of the Suns, who was sitting on the baseline, and I only said something to him after he cussed at me. But because I didn't snitch, I get fined. Hashtag the code. Sometimes you sticking to the script costs you a lot of money. But yeah, so I basically just told you guys, I didn't even remember that I tweeted that. Was that a deleted tweet? Or that one stayed? Oh, all these are deleted?
All right, let's do the Blake Griffin Hawka one. Let's do the
You got it.
Yes.
Hello there. During the third quarter, this was also November 14, 2013. During the third quarter, Barnes tweeted, I love my teammates like family, but I'm done standing up for these bleep. All the bleep does is cost me money. This tweet was later deleted.
So I'm done standing up for these niggas, is what I said. All this shit does is cost me money. Yeah, I mean, if you guys know me and kind of follow my career, you know, I was a protector of my teammates at all times, and you know, was ready to go to war for them. Ibaka was always trying to do dirty shit and bully Blake, so you know, I just let him know we wasn't having it. And then he reared back like he's about to throw a spear at me, and I smiled at him. But you know, sometimes in the heat of battle, this is what happens. Again, I don't really recall too many people actually getting into it with actually me. It was most of the time my fines were for taking up for people. And the only person, and I think I've told this story before, the only person that paid a fine when I stuck up for them was Kobe. Kobe took care of the fine where I had his back. BG, Big Cat, I know we just talked about you coming on All the Smoke soon. I can use that, what was that, a 35 boy? I know you're retired now and you got, got a little extra money around. So yeah, feel free to, you can still pay my fine, even though it's nearly 10 years later if you want. Well, I think the moral of the story is fines are a part of the game. In my case, a lot of my fines were sticking up for people. But again, I would do it again. That's what kind of teammate I was. I was always a teammate first, guys. I think in the instance of Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, I think the league has given them a few passes because they are colorful and fun and some of the best interviews in the game. But in the NBA's opinion, they crossed the line this time. So, hopefully they learn from it. But to be honest with you, I really don't want them to change too much. Maybe just choose their words and their gestures a little different, because I think the color they bring to the game is definitely needed. And I'm a huge fan of both of these young guys. This episode is presented by Coors Light. Choose chill.
Go to CoorsLight.com/smoke to get Coors Light delivered straight to your door.
Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. The holidays are far from perfect, but that doesn't mean we have to lose our chill. Let's face it, hosting in-laws can be a lot, and you know what the house gets like when the kids are not in school. The holidays can be hectic, but with Coors Light, you don't have to let the holiday ruin your chill. During the holiday craziness, I always make sure I keep my fridge stocked with cold Coors Light. I like to enjoy an ice-cold Coors Light while I'm watching sports with the family. After a long day at work, there's nothing better. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, for a smoother finish. When the mountains turn blue, you know it's ready to drink. When you embrace a chill mindset this holiday, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a cold Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Rockies. Choose chill this holiday and reach for a cold Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with CoorsLight.com/smoke, or find it pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.